Hello, welcome to my Let's Play. I'm doing prayer. Training prayer up. I got some of my progress in my progress report that I want to do. I got some of it done. This world is laggy. It's lagging. As you can tell. I already put in some of the, excuse me, I put some in the tip jar, so. If you are going to train in someone's house, it is courtesy to leave them a tip. Because I'm pretty sure they make sure that the burners keep running. Some of them don't, though. They just go off and play RuneScape. And then someone here will maintain the burners, you know. But still, it's nice, you know, because they're allowing their progress to benefit you. You can normally find the tip jar right next to the portal. It's real simple. You just go up to the tip jar, use tip jar, and then put some coins in. I normally donate a tenth of what I've already invested into prayer, and I spent about $1 mil, so I invested around like 90K. I would have did 100K. Actually, it was about 89K. I would have did 100, but after buying everything, I realized I didn't have 100K. I'm currently in the clan chat, Framed. That's Framed. I think I just recently got kicked from another one. I'm pretty sure I didn't break any of the rules. I've actually read the rules, but I got kicked, so I don't know why. Currently listening to dubstep. It's awesome. I'm listening to a UKF dubstep mix. It's really good. It sounds really good. I love dubstep. It's one of my favorite subgenres of electronic music. But yeah, if you want to train, I know this is a Let's Play, but if you want to train prayer, go to YANL and go to World 330, and then there should be someone outside the portal advertising a house. Then right click, go to friend's house, and then type in the name of the friend that they're advertising. And then you just run back and forth. This is one of the best ways in game to train prayer. I don't know why it does that. I think if someone's entering, like how I go in now, I think because of the lag, if like you're in line and someone goes in while you're in line, like while your character is still traveling to it, it'll stop the path for some reason. Make sure you right click use on the bones and then click on the altar because you don't want to accidentally bury them. Also, these little green timers in RuneLite, like you know how long the burners go. If you're not using a RuneLite, you're just playing with the regular client. If you zoom in, you'll see this green, I guess, gas-looking stuff. Steam, I don't know, coming off the burners. If you see both lit, you're good to go. If they stop, make sure you stop as well. Click away because the EXP rate like cuts in half per burner. So it's like 4x less if both burners are down. Yeah, because I had about 1 million GP. Alright, who said that? Who said... See, he's real courteous. Like, he's like, he even thanked me for giving him a tip, which was really nice. I suggest stamina potions. Reason being is you want to do this as fast as possible so you can get back to grinding other skills. And it really is dependent on how fast you can run. So just go ahead and, if you want, keep a full stamina in your inventory, which is fine. Because the amount of EXP you're getting is through the roof. It's really fast. I think I got 1 to 52, or 1 to 43 rather. Sorry, 1 to 43 in like maybe 50 minutes to an hour. If that. Like that right there. You see how I already clicked on friend's house, but then it stopped? Because people are probably using the house for all kinds of things. Like, I apologize if I'm too loud. I apologize. I got my headphones on. I can't see my audio levels. And I'm not sure how to do where it sends my voice into the microphone with this program. I figured it out once, but I haven't been able to figure it out since. Hold on, let me look. Let me see how loud I am. Yeah, I'm a little loud, so I'm going to go ahead and turn it down a little bit, what it's recording. There, that might be a little better. Hold on. Probably, maybe like right there might be okay. I apologize for that. I'm not trying to blow anyone's eardrums out. I'm just excited. I'm glad I got multiple clan chats. So if I get kicked, I can go hang out in another one. I didn't intentionally try to get kicked, of course. I really didn't. I even put I'll be good. And then I was. And then I got kicked. I don't know. I'll look at the rules again because it's the same way as these skillers. I've had to read the rules more than once, but I finally got it. I understand it. No religion in the CC and these skillers. Got it. And we can talk about it on the forums, and they were actually very reasonable with it. We were actually able to like have an adult conversation. I hope I got some more dubstep after this. I was listening to trance earlier, and I used it for meditation, and I haven't been able to meditate like that in years. I prayed beforehand. I was like, dear God, please allow me to have some meditation. And it felt like God answered my prayer by saying, yes, you may, and as well as me being able to have meditation, and it was guided by God, and it was amazing. I literally left. Like, you know how meditation is. It feels like you leave. It was great. Then I took my headphones off, since it was Sunday, rolled over and took a nap. It was great. I had a really weird dream. My brother and I were heading across the country in like one of those army trucks that, you know, has the cabs open and so is the back. And we were riding along down the highway, and there was these girls in the back of a pickup truck. And I was talking, chatting back and forth, you know. And they said, yeah, whatever. So my brother, like, comes over to the pickup truck like this. And I reach out with my hands, and I pull one of the girls over. Well, woman. She was a woman. I apologize. She was a woman. And I pull her up. Then I put my hands out, and I pull the second one up. It was kind of funny. And I dreamed it was their mom driving. It was weird. And then we made it to a place that felt like Vegas, but it was in the future. And I got lost because we went on different elevators. And, like, apparently the way the elevators worked is instead of just going up and down, they, like, come up and then they move around like this. And then all around you, like, 360 degrees are these pods. And it links up to a pod, and then it, like, approaches it. And then, like, the door opens. And then that's your hotel room. It was really cool. I got stuck on the elevator because this guy wouldn't push the button. And when you push the button, it takes your fingerprint. And somehow I went to the wrong room. And then I come out the elevator, and there's this dude, and he starts talking to me. And we're talking, and he starts following me around, just chit-chatting or whatever. And he's describing this girl, and he's like, I'm trying to find my girlfriend, and he keeps describing this girl, and I'm like, I'm kind of talking to him, but I'm also really nervous because I don't know where my brother is. And the more he describes her, I'm like, I think you're talking about the girl that I pulled up off a pickup truck. And he's like, no, she's with her mom. She's not even out here. Like, as in wherever we were. I'm like, dude, I'm telling you, I did. So then we get street level, and I'm walking down the street, and it's weird because it's like a police state. Like, I want to say martial law, but like not even martial law, like full police state. Like there's cops everywhere. I don't know, maybe they were the global police or something like that. And that's something my grandfather kept going on and on about before he passed away. He was like, one day we'll have global police, the United States Army, the United States Police, all that, like it won't be a thing anymore. There'll just be one global police. So anyway, I'm about to walk across the street, and the cop's like, get on the ground, get on the ground. So I get on the ground, and I put my hands behind my back or on my head. I think I put them on my head, which sometimes I sleep like that. I'll put my hands behind my head like this when I'm sleeping, so I can actually feel my hands inside my dream. And he's like, I know that you have a weapon. And I'm like, I didn't really say anything because I know I have a right to silence. And I was wearing a mask. I realize I'm wearing a mask at this point. I got a bandana on over my face, and then over that I have a gas mask for some reason. And he's like, I'm not going to take your mask off because I know it violates your right of illegal search and seizure, because I'm an American in my dream too. Just like, whatever. And he's like, you're under arrest for having a weapon. And I'm like, I try to keep my, I don't say anything. I'm like, this cop thinks I have a weapon. And I didn't say that. I thought it. And all of a sudden, this dude that was walking around with me happens to be there. And we start talking about God and how we're all going to reach perfection in heaven. And that the entire purpose of our being is that we're supposed to perfect ourselves by walking in Christ until heaven, when we'll be perfected, because that's when we'll go to heaven. And so the cop takes the handcuffs off me because we're talking about God. And I pick up my phone and I'm like, whoa, look at this video game. And it's a video game, and what it is it's like circling a city. And I'm like, wow, these graphics look really, really good. And it turns out it's like a remote control for a drone. I played a lot of Call of Duty, so maybe that's where it came from. And then I was like, wait, this isn't adding up. And then I woke up, because I can do that. I would like to say an active dreamer. So like, if I'm inside of a dream and I notice I'm dreaming, I can either stay in the dream or wake myself up. And I didn't really like how the dream was going, and it didn't feel like I had much control of it. And it was already a nervous dream. And I can normally vividly dream, so if I'm not vivid dreaming, I'll try to wake myself up, because I don't like being out of control of my dreams. Like, I don't like just dreams that run themselves. So, then I woke up. Then I was a little disoriented there for a little bit. I mean, I was in deep sleep. I woke up, I was like, oh. It was an interesting dream. So basically, I'm just training this with the amount that I bought. I hope I'm not being too loud. I really hope I'm not being too loud, because I don't like hurting people's ears. Hold on, let me check my sound levels again. I got this little thingy. Alright, it's in the yellow when I talk, so that might be okay. Maybe we'll adjust a little bit down further. There we go. But yeah, this is how you train prayer in YAML. Or YAML? 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 Yanville? What is this place called? I kind of like his name, Flower Boy, because that's interesting. The reason being is, if it's referring to marriage, when you have a when there's a wedding, you have what's known as a flower girl, which is normally an actual girl, like someone that isn't a woman, like a female that is a child. So you call her the flower girl, and then you got the ring bearer, which is normally a boy. It can be a man too. Like if you don't have kids, you can do man and woman. But the one I attended, I was the ring bearer. So like I had a pillow and I carried that up to who's being married, and I think it was my aunt, my great aunt, and they carry the rings, and then the flower girl walks. She goes first. No wait, we walk at the same time, and as she's going down the aisle, she spreads flowers. Hence the flower girl, if that makes sense. So it's kind of cool. He's saying flower boy, so which is interesting because a while back I was like, man, if I go to another wedding, I would like to do the flowers, like walk down and do the flowers. Even though it's supposed to be gender specific, like I don't know why, but it's supposed to be. So I really like his name. This is actual dubstep, nice. I just like it when I find music and it's called dubstep and you start listening to it and you're like, wait, this is some house mixed with some trance. This isn't dubstep, but this is dubstep. Where it really focuses on that, like I think they call it reverbing, where it's like like that. I think they call it reverbing. It's an actual electronic technique. That's how you got good dubstep. It doesn't have to have a mega drop. That came in later on as dubstep began to become popular. But simply dubstep requires a certain beats per minute and normally contains no vocals because that's considered more house. So stuff like Skrillex is technically dubstep, but it's more new era dubstep because it has the reverb in there, it has the beats per minute, but it does break the vocal rule in some of their songs because that's more considered house. For old school rules, like I realize we're in a new era, so the rules have changed, but like 70s rules when like techno was first a thing. Some people, not I almost said most, I almost went overgeneralization, I apologize. Some people think techno started in like the 2000s, but techno's been around since the 1970s-ish because we had already had computers. So we already had the beginning of electronic music, and electronic music in its actual definition is music that is purely made using electronics. So if you sample an old tape cassette of someone singing, that's not technically electronic music. However, there is a subgenre now of electronic music known as house. Some people call it, I forget what else the other word is for it. There's another subgenre next to house that's similar enough that I would categorize them as being in the same group. They said, what do we want, EDM? What do we want it now? Technically, there's not supposed to be vocals. But I go by the old school rules. I understand that new era, having vocals in dubstep is considered dubstep still, but it's approaching house with dubstep-like tendencies. That's what I consider. I consider a house with dubstep tendencies, not actual dubstep if it has vocals. But everyone's different. Everyone's their own critique. If you like the music, if you love the music, and then it works for you, and that's what's important. Who cares what they call it, you know? Similar with the rock debate. Well, what's rock, you know? Is rock, does it have to have a guitar? Most people would say yes. Okay, does it have to have an electronic guitar? Well, that's technically electric rock, right? Maybe. To some, it's not. If there's heavy drums, is it no longer alternative rock? You know? So, like, that's one of the things that we're blessed with is the fact that we are in an era that has so much music. What do we want? EDM. What do we want now? And I'm pretty sure EDM originally stood for the subgenre of electronic music known as electronic disco music. It was purely made with electronics, and they were trying to create disco music. But now EDM means, I think, electronic dance music, but any music is dance music, so... You get what I'm saying? Like, okay, electronic dance music, even though any type of music's dance music. I mean, if you can dance to music, and all music you can dance to, all music's dance music. But that's my opinion. I used to have this website that had all the rules of electronic music broke down by subgenre, and they even had what time symbol it has to be in, like 4/4 or like 2/4 or however, you know, where you write the little time symbol in. And it also had how many beats per minute does it have to have on average. It may not rise above a certain beats per minute, or it becomes a different subgenre, and it may not be lower at any time in the song than a certain beats per minute, or it becomes another subgenre. It's hard to find electronic music tracks that specifically stay in one subgenre. I guess that's one of the best things about electronic music. But you can say that about most music, because most music doesn't fit in a nice category of just one subgenre. A good example is alternative rock. They got what's considered alternative indie rock, but I've yet to be able to figure out exactly what that means. Because John Mayer isn't technically indie rock, is it? But a band like XX, I think they're called, they're technically indie music. I guess it kind of makes sense, I guess. And what, John Mayer is soft rock? I don't know. I know one thing about that, if I could find those rule books again, is once you start studying the rules, you start realizing what subgenre you really enjoy, and it is hard sometimes when you look at the rules and then you look at some of your favorite music and you're like, oh, well, that's not techno. Oh, well, that's not technically dubstep. But then you're like, oh, it's this subgenre. It's more house. Okay, cool. I didn't know I liked house. The first time I ever heard house, I was like, what the f*** is that? But yeah, technically dubstep doesn't contain vocals. Like real hardstyle, no vocals whatsoever. Technically in hardstyle, the subgenre of electronic music, it has to hit really, really, really hard bass-wise. And no, that doesn't mean build up to the drop and then you drop. No, I mean as soon as that song comes on, it better be going bum 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 bum. At least, you know. Sorry, I'm getting all excited. At least, and it has to contain. I mean, it has to maintain a certain amount of beats per minute, similar to how they categorize classic music. It has to contain. It has to maintain a certain amount of beats per minute, even if the time symbol changes. Because during songs, you can change time measurement because it's easier to write the music that way, and you can also change it that way because you can get different measurements of notes that you can't get in a traditional time. The traditional, I think, time symbol is like 4 and then over 4, meaning 4 beats per stanza, 4 full beats per stanza. I think that's what the 4 means. How many partials of a beat, how many partial of a note makes a note, a whole note, how many whole notes in a stanza. So 4 of a partial note equaling 1, so that's 1 note equals a whole note, and you gotta have 4 of them in a stanza. Well, you don't have to have like 4 notes, but there's 4 notes per stanza. Even if you don't put any music at all, you still count it as 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. When you start getting in like 2, 4, and I think another one was like, I don't know, 2 8s, it gets really fun, but it's rather tricky to play it. Maybe I dropped some knowledge. I think this is going to be a longer one, so please hang in there. Basically me rambling about music. I think I'm going to record until I finish the bones, but I might cut it off at 45 minutes, because an hour is... Well, I guess I make them for me too, but an hour is a significant chunk of time. How about this? If I run out of stuff to talk about, I'll try to cut it off too. But, I don't know. I don't know. Let's see. It is Sunday. Maybe I can make them longer on Sunday. Oh, we're only at 25 minutes. I was looking at the timer down there. Normally I make them about 25, 30 minutes. Yeah, I'll probably cut it right here. Alright, well thank you for stopping by. I might make another one. I might make a part 2. I don't know. I enjoy recording, so... Thank you for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave in the comments maybe some of the dreams that you've had, if you can explain them. Your opinions possibly on electronic music. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Do you not know what it is? Do you know what it is really well? What's some of your favorite subgenres of electronic music? Do you like classical music? And have you ever played an instrument in school, out of school, doesn't matter. Have you ever played an instrument, and what drawn you to that instrument? Hope you all have a great day. Thank you. God bless.